Welcome to Pocket Edition, everybody. Today I'm joined by Wesley, who has had a large hand in GameCast's social media and development of those spaces, and he's also a part of a indie gaming website. So first up, welcome Wesley. Why don't you fill us in on what you do?
Hello. Thanks for having me.
No worries, man.
Yeah, like you said, I have a site called Early Access Gaming where we talk about indies, Kickstarters, all the new and upcoming, like in development indie titles. We have a partnership with GameCast, try to share as many game reviews as we can.
We do our best. It's a work in progress, but we'll get there one day. If you're listening and you want to review video games, get in contact with us.
Definitely.
So what got you started on the indie development kind of scene? Like what made you want to cover that?
So I love new. I'm a one and done gamer.
Yeah, I'm like that too.
Right. So whenever I play a game and then I play it and I'm done with it and then I never play it again. Maybe. Occasionally I might if it was really good and I have some nostalgia around it. But that's what kind of attracted me to the indie scene and more specifically early access, because the Xbox program, the preview program, I was interested in some of those games, and then I started following it more, and then Steam come out with the early access program. And so I like the idea of having a voice as a gamer into how a game is actually developed. So that intrigued me. So I just started looking more into it and went from there.
Bang, I want to cover them. No, it's really cool. And definitely we'll have a link to Early Access Gaming down below in the description, so I highly recommend checking that out. It's a very polished little space you have going on. But yeah, I think you're right. Like indie development is one of those things where the developers are very receptive to feedback. And I think with indie games, you get a sense of, there's always something new around the corner. It's not always Call of Duty 22 or Destiny 3. It's always something fresh and new. And people are trying to push the envelope in different ways all the time to be seen and be unique. And it's just a very exciting space. But why don't you open up the topic for us today, because it's actually related to an indie developer who you've actually spoken to before in the past. So take it away.
I saw in the news today that one of the developers, like you said, that we've spoken to, we actually did a review on Die Young when it came out. The developer is IndieGala. IndieGala originally started as a publisher, but now they're dabbling in development. But this is the second developer in the past month that I have read about. They have actually released their game to the public. So Darkwood was the first game, and now they're by Acid Wizard. That's the developer for Darkwood. Yes, I believe that's correct. And now IndieGala is doing the same thing with Die Young. And I just thought it was very interesting. The reason that both developers gave was to combat piracy. So I just thought it was a very interesting approach to kind of deal with the piracy issue.
Just to clarify, they are essentially giving away early access copies of these games, correct?
I believe so.
Okay, because I think that's what I read with their latest game. It's a early access copy, and what they're doing is they're giving that version away for free, which you actually have to go to their website to download. You can't actually access it through Steam. You can, of course, still buy it through Steam, but you got to go to their website, you got to download it, you got to sign up, etc., etc. But once you download the free beta version, you don't get updates for it. It locks at that kind of form of the game. And if you want to get the updates, then you have to go and buy the game. So yeah, it's a very interesting model indeed. It's kind of a question of interesting and why. I know piracy is, I'm assuming, still a large issue, but to be honest, I thought it had kind of faded into the background a little bit in the last few years. I definitely haven't seen the same kind of talk and kerfuffle about piracy that I did, 5-10 years ago. So I kind of question, is this the right move for an indie developer to be giving away a free beta of their game?
In the article today, it said that piracy it's a double-edged sword. So you get your game in front of more people, which they hope would convert to customers or fans. But the concern was that when you get a pirated copy, it's full of malware or it's an outdated version, so you don't get a good feel for the game itself. I can see where they're coming from. Like, if you're gonna steal our game, at least steal the one that works.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a good cross section of what we have to offer.
In terms of the model of it, like I kind of like it. Like you look at Steam already with early access games, you already have to pay for those anyway. So, you know, in a sense, this is just like, here's the early access, but you just don't unlock the full game when it's finished. My concern is though, if they're giving away these betas, you know, unfinished versions of the game, could they be making their pirating situation worse? Because they're giving away like a very clean, well put together package of the game. What's stopping pirators from just kind of finding the updates online and just rolling the updates into the game? Do you know what I mean? Like applying the updates. I mean, I'm no expert with pirating or downloading or cracking games, but I could imagine people that know what they're doing would easily be able to do that.
Perhaps. I don't know if people that are pirating video games are, I don't want to say lazy because it does take effort, but I don't know.
Yes.
If they're going to go after like a clean copy. I don't think that's their main concern.
Well, it's an interesting model. I mean, I can definitely shed some light on pirating games. I've definitely done it myself, much like a lot of people have. But in terms of their idea of, you know, try it out, and if you like it, hopefully they can convert some of those people into actually buying the game rather than just taking it for free and riding off into the sunset. There's been a couple of games a while ago. I don't do it now because I've been working full-time forever. I can afford to buy my games. But when I was younger, I did pirate games, smaller titles. Super Meat Boy was one of them. And I fell in love with that game. And I ended up buying the limited edition collector's edition along with the Steam version as well. So you definitely can convert people into buying the game, even if they do have a pirating mentality. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of the... hopefully they can pull some kind of metrics up for how many people they are converting, or maybe put out a survey because I'd be very interested to see how many people they convert over to buying the game once they've kind of had that large taste of it.
So that's one issue, right? It's like, well, why would anybody buy it if they're giving it away? And I know there's conditions around the free copy. It's locked in. There's no future updates. It's like a sample or a demo. But something I thought about was, so they have a small budget. They are trying to, you know, get money from the early access, I'm sure, to kind of forward development. But if you look at a game like Fortnite, for example, that is a free-to-play game, or the intent is for it to be a free-to-play game. But they are selling copies of this free-to-play game to help fund the game itself. So in comparison to that model versus just giving away demos,
it's a complete flip around, right? It's crazy.
Right. It's like,
just what
which
is
one
happening?
will work better? Yeah.
It's like we had the $60 kind of US price for a game, and then it was just free to play, and then there's kind of microtransactions weirdly mixed in the middle, and now we've got people just throwing, like flipping the fucking table, going, all right, we're giving away free betas, and we've got early accesses, and then we've got freaking Epic Games over here doing their own shit. It makes me wonder if IndieGala is perhaps using this kind of crazy new model as a publicity tool.
Oh, Darkwood's got tons of publicity because what crazy developer would put their own game on Pirate Bay? That was the first instance when I heard about it was from Darkwood.
Yeah, sorry, they obviously must be making money on Darkwood, right? Otherwise they wouldn't be taking the same or a similar approach again. So there must be evidence there to support the model, or they're just crazy.
I think the game has positive reviews so far on Steam. And that's something else, you know, if you're giving the game away, maybe to pad your reviews a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Generosity goes a long way. And I mean, if you're giving it away for free, you're going to get a lot more reviews popping up on YouTube. I mean, I've checked out heaps of games just because they're free or I've been given copies. So it's a very good way to get publicity, definitely. Do you have any other final thoughts on this one before we wrap it up?
No, I just thought it was a very interesting topic to starting to see this trend. You know, will more and more small developers who can't really afford a marketing budget, is this one way to get their game out there? Or is it just something crazy these couple of developers have tried? And I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting topic to bring up, something to think about.
Yeah, it's definitely a head scratcher. Definitely. I think I'm pretty much in the same boat as you, just kind of going, let's see where this goes, I guess.
You know what would be cool is if they would give Early Access Gaming some free copies of games. And we could do a proper review. And GameCast. We could share that with
Definitely.
GameCast. Do a
Hit
proper
us up,
review for 'em.
IndieGala. Hit us
Right.
up. Give us the
Right.
full game for real, legit, or we're going to go pirate on Pirate Bay. Lol jokes. We won't do that. Anyway, let's wrap it up. By all means, guys, let us know what you think down below in the comments, because I think Wesley and I are still in the same boat that we were before we started recording, and that is kind of scratching our head, hopefully in an optimistic way, to see where this goes. So let us know what you think down below. And by all means, if you've enjoyed this video or you've enjoyed Wesley in particular, be sure to check out Early Access Gaming, where you can find plenty of indie coverage. And after that, check out GameCast, where you will find a variety of gaming content in the form of news, reviews, podcasts, more little bite-sized pieces of entertainment, much like Pocket Edition right here. But until the next video, have a good one.